What if I told you that the richest man in an African village lost everything, while the poorest widow became richer than anyone could have imagined?
Long ago, in a peaceful African village surrounded by golden fields and ancient baobab trees, there lived two neighbors whose lives could not have been more different. One was Chief Kand, the wealthiest man for miles around. His granaries were always full. His cattle covered the hills like moving clouds. People admired his riches, but they also feared his pride. He believed that wealth was proof that the ancestors loved him more than everyone else. Just a short walk away lived Mama Sade, a poor widow. Her tiny hut had a leaking roof, her farm was barely large enough to feed herself, and her only possession of value was a small wooden calabash that had belonged to her late husband. Though she owned very little, she welcomed anyone who came to her door with a smile and whatever food she could spare.
Secure the granaries. I will not tolerate theft. Do as I command. Lock them tightly.
Every harvest season, Chief Kand ordered his servants to gather every grain from his fields. He locked his barns with heavy wooden doors and warned everyone, "My wealth belongs to me. No one becomes rich by feeding lazy people." Meanwhile, Mama Sade harvested just enough millet to survive. Yet whenever an orphan, an old traveler, or a hungry child arrived, she shared from her small calabash without hesitation. The villagers often whispered, "How can someone with so little give so much? And how can someone with so much give so little?" One evening, as the sun painted the sky with shades of gold and crimson, an old traveler entered the village. His clothes were dusty, his walking stick was worn smooth with age, and hunger could be seen in his tired eyes. He first stopped at Chief Kand's mansion. "My son," the traveler said softly, "I have walked for many days. May I have a little food and water?" Chief Kand frowned. "I did not become rich by feeding strangers. Go find someone else." The old man bowed politely and continued down the dusty path. Soon he reached Mama Sade's humble home. She looked into her nearly empty calabash. There was only enough porridge for one meal. Without thinking twice, she smiled warmly. "My father, please come inside. What I have is little, but we will share it together." She poured every last spoonful into 2 bowls. The traveler ate slowly, thanked her sincerely, and before leaving, handed her a single seed. "Plant this tomorrow morning before sunrise," he whispered. "But remember, only kindness can harvest what grows from this seed." Mama Sade thanked him, although she wondered how one tiny seed could change anything. At dawn, she planted it beside her hut. Within days, something incredible happened. A healthy green plant sprang from the earth. Soon it spread across her yard with branches heavy with fruits unlike any the villagers had ever seen. Each fruit contained enough fresh food to feed an entire family. No matter how many fruits were picked, new ones appeared by the next sunrise. Mama Sade invited everyone to eat. No one went hungry. The children laughed again. The elderly smiled with grateful hearts. Travelers began stopping in the village, amazed by the generosity of the poor widow. News of the miracle soon reached Chief Kand. Filled with jealousy, he secretly sneaked into Mama Sade's garden one night and stole several fruits. He searched desperately for magical seeds inside them, but found none. The next morning, he ordered his servants to search every market for unusual seeds. Weeks later, they found an old merchant selling seeds that looked almost identical. Chief Kand bought every single one. He planted them across his enormous farm, dreaming of becoming the richest man in all the kingdoms. But when the plants grew, they bore strange black fruits. The moment the fruits ripened, they burst open, releasing thousands of hungry locusts. The insects covered his fields. They devoured his crops. They emptied his granaries. Even his cattle wandered away in search of food. Within a single season, the richest man in the village had almost nothing left. For the first time in his life, Chief Kand experienced hunger. Ashamed and weak, he walked to the only place where food could still be found. Mama Sade's humble home. He lowered his head. "I once turned away those in need. Today, I stand before you with empty hands. If your heart allows, please help me." Mama Sade looked at the man who had mocked the poor for years. She remembered every harsh word, every insult, every closed door. Yet she also remembered the kindness shown to her by the mysterious traveler. Without speaking of the past, she filled her wooden calabash until it overflowed. She placed food before him. "Sit," she said gently. "A hungry stomach cannot learn with an empty bowl." Chief Kand wept as he ate, not because of the food, but because he realized that true wealth had never been hidden inside his overflowing barns. It had always lived inside a generous heart. From that day forward, he opened what remained of his land to the villagers. Together they farmed, harvested, and shared every season. No child slept hungry again. No traveler was turned away. And whenever people asked how the village became so prosperous, the elders would smile and say, "The richest hands are not the ones that hold the most. They are the ones that give the most." And that is why, across many African villages, elders still remind young people that kindness is the only treasure that grows larger every time it is shared. Because riches can disappear overnight, but a generous heart leaves a harvest that lasts for generations. The story ends here, but its lesson remains. Wealth without compassion is empty, while even the smallest gift, offered with love, can change the lives of many.